Beware of spoilers, you have been warned.
Okay, buckle up, guys. I've been talking about a lot of Marvel movies, and now I'm gonna talk about the Avengers. Starting with the first Avengers movie. Enter Loki, our Avengers level threat, and the other first familiar face we see is Coulson, and we love to see him. He helped connect everyone in Phase 1, and now he's here to connect the team. Avengers Assemble. That means you, Ruffalo, get in here. The museum sequence is such an iconic moment. Loki causing chaos, Thor entering the chat out of absolutely nowhere, and suddenly we've got the trio of getting things done. Tony, Steve, and Thor arguing philosophy while casually throwing hands is peak Joss Whedon dialogue. I love how these are all pretty intense characters in terms of personality and presence, so it's not gonna be a team out of the gate. The bickering is classic Whedon, and the actors just did it so well. Coulson dies. We as a society needed 7 seasons of a television show to emotionally recover from his death. That's not a joke. The Battle of New York is pop culture history. Loki getting slammed by Hulk like a rag doll. That iconic rotating shot of the team finally standing together. Cinema. And then, after all of that, shawarma. Also, Ashley Johnson, Captain America, saved her life. They freaking did it. They didn't just make a movie, they created a franchise, and somehow it worked. Like, what else can I say? This is literally such an iconic movie. I feel like I could watch it without a marathon, without context. Like, I could just watch it. Like, it's a great standalone movie. It's just so good, and it just reminds me of a better time. Like, take me back. Take me back to the 2012 Avengers hype, please. Age of Ultron. We meet the twins, Wanda and Pietro, enter the MCU, and my body is ready. We grew up with Mary, Kate, and Ashley, but boy, oh boy, here comes Elizabeth. Ultron, as a concept, is actually really interesting. The idea that Tony's need for control and protection literally births the thing that almost destroys the world. We as a society we're always scared of AI despite how much we use it, but those paranoid conspiracy theorists know what's up. Rip Jarvis, he was the best of us. Scarlet Witch is wildly overpowered from the start, and this never changes, but she will occasionally be nerfed for plot purposes. Steve's vision sequence still hurts. Like, God, I love Steve and Peggy so much. Like, that was personal. Hulk is also OP. The barbarian every D&D party wishes they had. The Hulkbuster sequence was probably everyone's favorite scene when this movie first came out. Like, it's quoted a lot. It was quoted a lot, I remember. Vision, though? First impressions, I loved him. He was precious to me. He was one of my favorite characters when this movie came out. Also OP, and also commonly nerfed for plot as well, unfortunately. The way he held Thor's hammer, though, iconic moment. I agree with Ultron a little bit. Humanity is messy, but we don't gotta kill like half the universe to clean up. Rip Quicksilver, but Wanda is bae. Her in that leather jacket? Come on.
Avengers?
They knew what they were doing. Overall, Age of Ultron gets more hate than it deserves, but, like, it's mid, but it's not bad. I caught up between the release of the first Avengers movies, so I had a lot more hype going into the theaters. Like, the first Avengers is peak, but I was more excited to see Ultron just because I was so early in my MCU phase. It's messy, it's overloaded, but it sets up so much of what comes later more than anything. Like, Phase 2 was just the bridge between the pillars that are Phase 1 and Phase 3, and it did okay. Infinity War. So Thanos kills like half of Asgard, but technically only a quarter because Hela killed half like 2 days ago. Loki's death does not hit at all. It did not hit when I first saw it in theaters. Like, he's died 3 times, so I don't think anyone believed he was gone. Endgame later shows, yeah, he did die. But there wasn't much room to grieve knowing that a Loki variant took the Tesseract and left that window open for the character. And look, we got a show.
I'm sorry, Earth is closed today.
Get lost, Squidward. The Asgardians of the galaxy. The interactions are perfect. This is the good version of what Love and Thunder could have been.
Kid, you're an Avenger now.
Okay, but y'all, I'm so emotional watching this movie. Just remembering how hype it was 8 freaking years ago. Like, it was one thing to see Strange and Stark, like LOL Sherlock and Sherlock ready to clean Squidward's clock. But Thor chilling with the Guardians, going on a side quest with Rocket and Groot, like this was a crossover, like for real, for real.
Are you mocking me? Are you mocking me? Stop it, you just did it again. He's trying to copy me. Just stop
Enough!
That Soul Stone sequence hit hard. We get the backstory between him and Gamora. I like how we get dimension to Thanos without being forced to sympathize. This is not a villain from Once Upon a Time, but the way he was truly devastated for sacrificing Gamora, yet he still went through it because he was just that committed to this self-proclaimed destiny that he just believed he had. He's one of the better villains we've seen in the MCU for sure.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Okay, but
Wakanda forever!
let's freaking go. The energy is just electrifying. Bucky is here. Get this man a shield.
We don't do that here.
Like, I'm losing my mind. Even now, this movie is just so exciting.
What master do you serve?
What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?
I thought the Thor interactions were great, but Strange, Stark, and Spider-Man just losing their own brain cells, just trying to handle the Guardians, is peak cinema.
Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
This is peak Avengers.
Bring me Thanos!
The actual Infinity War begins. Rocket and Bucky have a moment. Steve and Groot have a moment.
I am Groot!
I am Steve Rogers.
Like I said, WandaVision is just too powerful, so the narrative has to keep them distracted.
All that for a drop of blood.
Bro literally threw a moon at him. Thanos' arrival to Earth is terrifying. He is inevitable. The sound design is simple but effective. Thanos left Stark looking so defeated. It then cut to Steve Rogers looking at this alien dead in the eyes with pure resilience and determination. The first to go is Bucky. Rip Groot again. Why did Peter Parker take so long to die? Quill's arrogance literally destroyed the universe. Thor's theatrics made it worse. And all those left behind just feeling guilty that they couldn't have done more. But really, they did all they could. And it is written. It is the only way. But bruh, they lost and then credits? That feeling seeing it in theaters, I sat there laughing, and after seeing it the second time, I had nothing to say. Like, they did that, and we had to wait a year. But it's 2026, fools. I can watch Endgame on my laptop right now! What a sentence! Everything since this movie premiered has been a literal fever dream. 7 years after a rat saved the cosmos, and no, I'm not talking about Mickey Mouse. The snap, such a crazy concept that is continuously explored. How did the world function after this? What were the struggles when it was reversed? Did some people agree? What about people who settled and restarted only for the past to come back like nothing happened? The people left behind, the people returning to nothing. Just so many consequences to discuss on Reddit. Scott Lang. He literally saved the universe and told Stark to invent time travel. He gets 12% of the credit. Korg comes to Earth and discovers pizza and video games. Bless him, protect him at all costs. The Time Heist. This is content. Returning to the Battle of New York served nostalgia in the best way.
That is America's ass.
Rhodey's only Star-Lord experience is him concluding he's an idiot. Bless. Black Widow's sacrifice hurts every single time. Besties for the resties. Sad Jeremy Renner should not exist. Loki escapes and will eventually become the king of the time spaghetti tree. That's all I could have wanted for him. The real Infinity War is that first confrontation. The original trio back together, getting things done like they've always have. Thor dual wielding was cool, but Cap lifting Mjolnir? The universal hype was unmatched. The shield breaks, Cap stands his ground. One man against infinity. He can do this all day. And then...
Captain Sam, can you hear me? On your left.
I literally have chills. I'm getting choked up just talking about it. Nothing compares to the portal scene and everything that comes after.
Avengers!
Assemble.
This might actually be in real history books someday. Like, wow.
And I am Iron Man.
Earth just lost its best defender. Here at the end of all things, Steve went to space, traveled through time, but he just cannot forget his best girl. As someone who was deeply emotional about the Steve and Peggy story, like, to see that they did make it in a way, like, for that to be the final moment for the credits, crumbled me in a way I cannot explain. I came full circle, and I feel so exhausted during these credits every time. Since this movie came out, it's been hard to remain an MCU fan. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a big part of that for me, and that show ended not too long after Endgame. I found myself going through new releases looking for an end, and I feel like I found it in Deadpool and Wolverine. Even with Doomsday around the corner, I just don't find myself... and I just find myself so uninterested. The emotional energy I poured into the MCU was reserved for the Infinity Saga. There's nothing more the Avengers can do for me. I'm extremely happy with what we got, and I will have Infinity Saga marathons for years to come. Regular show. So I'm a 2000s kid. I grew up with the best Disney Channel, the best Cartoon Network, and even the best Nickelodeon. We crossed over into the next decade. Not only was I watching these channels less and less, but the quality of content just happened to deteriorate anyways. However, Cartoon Network has still been able to hit us with some absolute gold. Like, there's at least one good show running, and the creative opportunities have been endless. Steven Universe, Infinity Train. But for me, the show that kept my faith in the channel was Regular Show. It's not just one of my favorite animations or Cartoon Network shows, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. So let's jump in. Season 1 is simple, but it's perfectly establishing the tone and humor of the series. Mordecai and Rigby immediately steal the show, and their ability to turn the smallest problem into the utmost chaos is endlessly funny. We meet the rest of the crew, and they're all just so instantly likable, even Benson for comedic purposes. Shout out to Mark Hamill as Skips.
My mom!
I feel like I shouldn't find Muscle Man funny as an adult, but I just do. By seasons 2 and 3, the show has found its footing. We're getting fun episodes like the Terror Tales of the Park. Chaos is ramping up through all these random experiences, and I'm here for it. I look back and I can definitely place seasons 4 and 5 as the peak of the show for sure. Some of my favorite episodes include Exit 9B, The Last Laserdisc Player, the Parky Awards, Bad Kiss, and the Christmas Special. All of these I've rated 9 or 10 out of 10. The scale is bigger, the humor hits, just everything about these seasons is what regular show is. Seasons 6 and 7 blend together for me a bit. We still get some great episodes like Do Me a Solid and the Dome Experiment Special, which sets up the final season a bit. The energy of the show just keeps going as the show hits for the final season. Season 8 is one big space adventure, and this is exactly what I would have wanted for a regular show. It's a full-blown arc with some last-minute chaos. Pops is some sort of galactical being, like that was crazy. The finale was perfect, solid. Bowie's Heroes plays, which really hyped me up when I first saw this because I just became a Bowie fan when I finished the show. Sorry, Stranger Things. Regular show did it first. It's honestly an emotional finale and season. You went on so many adventures with all these great characters that you've grown so attached to. When I revisit the show, I get so much nostalgia for it despite seeing it in my teen years. It wasn't part of my childhood. I literally had my first dedicated marathon in college. But the characters and the vibes, the adventure, the humor, it all just made for a memorable and wholesome and fun experience. And I really get that feeling watching the last season. Some overall thoughts. The characters are the center, with Mordecai and Rigby being the heart of the show. Pops is our galaxy angel being, protect him at all costs. Skips is daddy, no notes. Benson, he likes to be the boss man, but he's just as ridiculous as the rest of them. Muscle Man, I feel like I shouldn't like him the way that I do, but there is a time and place for him, and his humor is right where it needs to be. Regular show is basically made for me. The humor matches my brain exactly, so I'm almost always laughing and always engaged. The chaos is the best part. The more ridiculous and over the top things get, the better the show becomes for me. Like, literally, Rigby can remove a sacred donut from a pedestal in a secret cave on the park grounds, and Skip would be like, bro, the world is about to end. We need to bring maple syrup to the tree of life at the center of the earth to appease the goddess. Like, I can't remember if this is an actual premise of an episode. I just made that up on the spot. But this is the kind of ridiculous that I not only love, but just absolutely works on regular show. This is easily one of my favorite animated series, and a show I'll always happily revisit. Game of the Week, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is built around a simple but huge idea. You're dropped into a massive, randomly generated universe, and you're free to explore however you want. There's no strict path. Your ship, and an endless number of strange planets to discover. The focus isn't really on winning or fighting, but wandering, gathering resources, and seeing what's out there with a strong sense of isolation. When I first played No Man's Sky, like literally when it came out, it was exciting at first. The early moments of landing on new planets and seeing weird creatures and plants was genuinely cool, but eventually a lot of it started to feel repetitive. I spent a lot of time collecting materials, exploring, like going through the motions. It wasn't bad, like it was still good at the time, but it kind of left me wondering if there should be more or if there were plans for there to be more. I really haven't played since, but since then, No Man's Sky has changed a lot over the years thanks to many updates. Glancing at some changes they've made, the game now includes multiplayer, base building, better variety in planets, I think story content even. You can team up with others, build settlements, follow missions, just so much more purpose in your exploration. From what I've kind of seen, it's become more fleshed out, and I'm excited to check out more. Now, while this isn't a recent game for me, I just wanted to highlight it for its legacy. It had a rough launch and a lot of criticism early on, but instead of giving up, the devs kept improving it over time with free updates. They listened to the players, they brought the game to its full potential. Now it's often brought up as one of the best examples of a game finding redemption post-launch. It's evolved so much, and I'm excited to see how. When we talk of legends and icons of acting, no one sets the bar like Her Majesty Meryl Streep. From Holocaust dramas to rom-com musicals structured by ABBA songs, she defines range and excellence and prestige no other actress has ever done. Really weird just sticking her next to regular show in the Avengers like this, but here we are. Meryl Streep was just your average kid from New Jersey. She was active in school theater as early as junior high. She had some opera training for a time, which came in handy for musicals later on. It wasn't until doing theater in college that she realized acting was something she really wanted to pursue. She worked her way through a drama degree, earning a master's in fine arts from Yale in 1975. She then went on to do some serious theater work, initially not interested in film, and was active in theater for several years until her film career quickly picked up at the start of the decade. She started strong with movies like Deer Hunter and Kramer vs. Kramer, her first Oscar nominations and a win. These films put her on everyone's radar, proving she was the best of the best from the get-go. Sophie's Choice. A role so iconic, so devastating, so technically perfect that film schools literally teach it as a masterclass. She won her second Oscar here, and it is truly such a defining role for Meryl. She worked so hard and did so well with such a heavy story and a character. So good. Some other 80s titles of hers include The French Lieutenant's Woman, Silkwood, Out of Africa, Ironweed, Manhattan, and A Cry in the Dark. The 90s still kept her rolling with films like The Bridges of Madison County, Death Becomes Her, One True Thing, Postcards from the Edge, First Do No Harm, Marvin's Room, and The River Wild. I think it was the 2000s that honestly set her in mainstream, as in her big pop culture films happened like back to back. Devil Wears Prada and Mamma Mia.
By all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me.
Devil Wears Prada is a fan favorite for sure, but Mamma Mia was a big part of my childhood. That was a solid movie with a solid cast. Like, Meryl was not the only legend here. She was in the award-winning miniseries Angels in America. Some other 2000s films include Doubt, Julie and Julia, Adaption, Music of the Heart, The Manchurian Candidate, It's Complicated, and The Hours. In 2011, she turned into Margaret Thatcher for The Iron Lady and snagged another Oscar. She was in The Post with Tom Hanks, America's two greatest actors of all time. In these latest years, she's been in projects like August Osage County, Into the Woods, Mary Poppins Returns, Hope Springs, Florence Foster Jenkins, Big Little Lies, Only Murderers in the Building, and Don't Look Up. She just has not slowed down. Like, she said this is her golden age. Now, I can gush about her career, but the awards speak for themselves, and she certainly has the talent to back it up. 21 Academy Award nominations, the most of any actor ever, with 3 wins for Kramer vs. Kramer, Sophie's Choice, and The Iron Lady. Oh my god. Record-breaking 32 Golden Globe nominations with 8 wins for Kramer vs. Kramer, The French Lieutenant's Woman, Sophie's Choice, Adaption, Angels in America, Devil Wears Prada, Julie and Julia, and The Iron Lady. 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards for Angels in America and Doubt out of 18 nominations. 2 BAFTA Awards for The French Lieutenant's Woman and The Iron Lady out of 15 nominations. 4 Emmy Awards of 7 nominations, winning with Holocaust and Angels in America. Oh, and throw in a Tony nomination for a play she did in the 70s. The Presidential Medal of Freedom, because at some point acting achievements weren't enough. The US government literally had to step in and recognize her. She's not just decorated, she's the final boss of award seasons. Meryl Streep is, without exaggeration, the standard of acting. She's who we all strive to be. The artist who shaped decades of cinema, from prestigious dramas to comedies to musicals to political biopics to whatever new genre she decides to master next. She's the actor of all actors, the blueprint, the legend, the gold standard. We will cherish her always.
That's it for this week. Be sure to follow this podcast and please follow my Twitter and blog at Hollis Films to follow my journey experiencing the entertainment industry's greatest stories. And let me know what you've been fangirling over this week. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you again next week.